number one lever, and that's how to become your own bank with life insurance. And I'm gonna attempt to go pretty thorough with that. But I only have time to go through the one lever today. But I will give you an opportunity to learn how you can learn about teach you or show you how you can learn all five levers to wealth creation. But if the only thing you walk away with is just this one lever, you got your money's worth, which was actually free, but you got a lot more of your money's worth. I promise you. So let me show you that really quick. All right. So private research. Here we go. Okay, while I'm pulling this up, I want y'all to tell me in the chat, while I'm pulling this up, tell me what is your passive income monthly goal? Write that in the chat. What is your passive income monthly goal? Perfect. Here we go. All right, we got. All right, yes. I mean, y'all some big dreamers. Okay, I'm seeing $250,000 passively in a month, 200,000 at least in a month, 50,000 in a month, 30K, 1,000, 15,000, 8, 10. So y'all all got big goals in this room. So you got big goals, you gotta have a mentorship with those big of a goals. I mean, you gotta find guidance. But a lot of times, we have these big goals, but I'm just gonna be transparent with you. We have these big goals, but we're not willing to do what it takes to get to those goals, and we're not willing to plant a seed to get to those goals. So we try to hold on to a seed thinking that the seed is the harvest, and therefore we never do it. Okay. Somebody said, how much is realistic? I can't answer that question for you. It depends on what's realistic for you. Um, so if you've never made $100 a month passive income, maybe putting $500,000 a month from the start, um, in $500,000 a month passive income in the next 1 month, maybe. I don't want to knock anybody's dream, but I do want you to believe realistic. Let me ask you this: in the next year, 1 year from now, tell me what you want that passive income to be. 1 year, and let me explain what passive income is. Not active income. In 1 month, passive income is money that's coming in over and over and over that you don't have to continue to work for. It's just coming in residually from work that you've done one time. All right. Perfect. Okay. So you all, there is three different types of people when it come to money. You got your debtor, you got your saver, and you got your wealth creator. All right. So just so that I'm clear, all of these people that I'm seeing put $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month. When I show you how to do that, and if it's a $500 investment for me to show you the path, and if y'all scared to invest the $500 in yourself, but you want to get to $20,000 in a month passive income, I'm gonna be a little bit concerned. So we're gonna see. But there's three different types of people when it comes to money. You got a debtor, you got a saver, and then you got a wealth creator. What the debtor does is they're gonna go into debt and they're forever attempting to get out of debt. They go into debt, then they're trying to get out of debt. They go into debt, then they're trying to get out of debt. Problem is, you can make a whole lot of money and still be a debtor because you don't know how to handle your money. You don't know how to handle your finances. And you're just trying to get out of debt. And your goal is just to be debt free. But there are homeless people on the street that have a goal just to be debt free. But they're still struggling because they don't have any assets. So anytime they fall into some trouble, they go back into debt. The second type of person that you got is the saver. The saver, they're going to save, and then they're going to pay cash. Again, going to save, and then they're going to pay cash, and they're going to keep doing this over. Now, this person is in a better position than a debtor, but they're really not that much better off, because every time that they spend down that savings, they got to build back up the savings, which means they lose the money that they could have earned had they not spent it down. What if you were able to keep your money that you've saved, and even when you make a purchase, the money still continues to grow as if you never touched it? That's called a wealth creator. The wealth creator never stops the forward momentum of money. When it's time for them to go ahead and buy something, they're going to buy it, but they're going to leverage against themselves. Then they're going to pay themselves back. This is how their money continues to grow uninterrupted, as if they never touched it. So the problem with debt is you got an obligation on the future earnings. You lose capital to purchasing and financing costs. You're a debtor to the creditor. You lose control. Well, when you pay cash, you first need to save the cash. Then you got taxes on the cash. Then you must drain the tank, which kills the compound interest. So you lose control in the interest that you could have earned had you not had to spend the cash. So the way that looks is, let's say I was saving $24,000 a year, $2,000 a month. The red represents the saver. So you're going to save, and then pay cash. Save, and then pay cash. Save, and then pay cash. Well, the wealth creator, they're just letting their money continue to accumulate, and they're simply just borrowing against themselves while their account continues to grow. This person, the wealth creator, ends up with 2 million versus only 359,000 for the saver. So it's that much of a difference. Remember, you all, it's not how much you make, it's how much money you keep. I know people who make a lot of money, but they still end up broke due to taxes, due to not managing their money. So we want to teach you financial literacy. And those who are faithful with a small amount, those are the people who end up being great stewards and being blessed with a lot more. So it's not about getting the money. What if I can show you how to make this work without emptying your tank? So I'm going to go over a powerful strategy with you. So before I go over this, what type of characteristics are we looking for in this wealth creation fund? It has to be tax-deferred growth, tax-free distributions. We need a competitive return, high contribution limits. Deductible contributions would be nice. We want to be able to borrow against it. We want it to be safe, no loss provisions, guaranteed loan options, the ability to borrow against this money anytime, no matter what your credit score is, unstructured loan payments, liquidity, use and control of your money, and also some additional benefits. So many things can be used as a private reserve wealth creation fund, but it doesn't all work the same. For example, a 401k only has 4 of those benefits. A home equity line of credit only has 2 of those benefits. A CD at the bank has 4 of those benefits. But the only thing that has almost every benefit is cash value life insurance. This is the secret to wealth creation, by funneling your money through the life insurance first so that you can have the ability to borrow against that money. So I'm about to show you a really quick lesson on life insurance. So when it comes to life insurance, there's a minimum amount that you can put into a life insurance policy, and there's also a maximum amount that you can put into a life insurance policy. The minimum amount is determined by the insurance company. The maximum is determined by the government. Why would the government be concerned about how much money you put into a life insurance policy? Because of taxes. Because of that, in the 1980s, the government created qualified plans, which is your IRA, 401k, 403b, because they wanted to be able to control your money so that you can't touch it until you're 59 and a half. And if you take it out earlier, they're going to give you a 10% penalty, and they can raise taxes and control that money anytime that they want to. So the government did that. And they basically said, if you pour too much money into the life insurance policy, we want to get the benefit, but we don't want you all to have all the benefits. So we're going to turn that into what's called a MEC if you overfund it. A MEC means modified endowment contract. That simply means that they can now tax your insurance policy the same way that they'll tax your IRA and 401k. So we definitely want to avoid that. So if I can put the minimum of $500 into a policy and a maximum of $10,000, why would I put $10,000 into a policy that I could get for $500 to get that same $500,000 death benefit? Well, the $500 premium is term insurance. The only benefit of term insurance is the death benefit. Now, if I'm going to put more of my money into it, it better have benefits. And it does. That extra cash that you're putting into your policy is going to be that tax-deferred growth, tax-free, which the government hates. Competitive return, high contribution limits, additional benefits, collateral opportunities, safe, no loss provisions, guaranteed loan options, unstructured loan payments, which means that if you borrow from this and you can't pay it back, you don't even have to, because it's going to be subtracted from your death benefit when you die. Also, liquidity, use, and control. So if you're 60, if you're 30, it doesn't matter. You can borrow money from this at any time as long as you have built up the cash value. So this is a very powerful concept. Now, why haven't they taught you about this? Because when you build out this policy, you want the lowest amount of death benefit for the highest amount of living benefit. Most policies are designed for the highest amount of death benefit and the lowest amount of living benefit. If you already have insurance policies that are permanent, 9 times out of 10, your policy is structured and you're not getting any growth on your cash value because it's structured for the death benefit. So why wouldn't that agent tell you about this way? Because of commissions. It's hard to get a man to understand something that their wallet depends on them not understanding. And they take a 70% pay cut by structuring it for your benefit and not the agent's benefit. So when we build out this policy, we want to build up this cash value. Why? Because we're going to utilize that cash value to borrow against it. So what we're going to do is once we build up that cash value, we're going to go to the insurance company and say, I want to borrow against my money. So I'm not spending my money, and that's why it continues to grow as if I never touched it. So if my money grows the same, whether I borrow against it or not, so what should I do? What do you think? You think I should borrow against it, or you think I shouldn't borrow against it? You should borrow, right? Now, if I do borrow, should I buy an asset or should I buy a liability? An asset. So if I went out and I bought me an asset, let's say that asset was real estate, and then I don't have to pay the insurance company back because it'll be subtracted from the death benefit, but I'll choose to pay it back because I want to decrease my collateral position and pay back off the loan, which allows me to borrow more in the future. So when I do pay it back, it's great. If I don't pay it back, subtract it from my death benefit. Now I got the asset making money. I got my life insurance policy making money, and I can make money 3, 4, 5 times off the same dollar. And then I'll get that wrapped up with a trust to protect my money. And I just keep following that same process over and over and over. So some ways that I've used my life insurance policy. Let's see. This is one of my multifamily properties that I own. I borrowed from my policy to make me money. This is my actual house. I just showed you that reel at the beginning of the meeting of me in my house hosting an event this week. This makes me money because people will rent it out. And I just paid my life insurance policy back. I've traded options with this. So I borrowed from my policy before to buy options, which I double leveraged because not only was I making money on my life insurance policy, as if I never touched it, I also making money off my options, stock trading options. So I took that money to pay back off my policy once I made money on it. I've also bought my Lamborghini with this. Now, this necessarily wasn't an asset because I didn't rent it out long. I rented it out 2 times and I was like, I'm done. I'm not renting out my Lamborghini. It was too scary. But I will tell you, so many people joined my mentorship when I got this, that this Lamborghini made me money and I paid off my life insurance policy right away. Also, hard money lending. I saw people were doing hard money loans for 16%. So I said, if I could just do it for 10% or 12%, and I can write their house off as collateral, where if they don't pay me back, I get to take possession of their house. Everybody paid me back. So I made money off of that interest, and I was still making money off my life insurance policy. So if you really want to get spicy, leveraging life insurance have gave me financial freedom. So one of the things that I do is a four-way play. I use both credit and my life insurance. So I learned how to get credit, and I've turned that credit into cash to buy an asset. And I immediately would borrow from my policy to pay off the credit. Now I've made money off my life insurance as if I never touched it. I got all my points from the credit card to travel and also to fly. And I got my real estate asset making money. And when I build up equity in it, I'm going to borrow against the equity. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy another property. So now I'm making money 4 times off the same dollar. And then I'll get a trust to kind of cover that up. And I'll just keep repeating the same thing over and over. So I know I said that fast, but I just wanted to show y'all what's possible. If you wrote down that play, you can get that play and you can run the same thing. Some of y'all want more hand holding though. You want me to help you and guide you. If you want me to help you to do this and guide you to exactly how to do this step by step so that you can change your financial position, put some fireballs in the chat.